This is a commander tip for Kerrigan, and I want to show you a way of dealing with a Propagator using Kerrigan's heroic unit. This is particularly useful in the early stage of the game where you might not really have an army and certainly not enough lurkers to be able to kill a Propagator before it even reaches them. So you might have to rely on your heroic unit to deal with a Propagator. Now obviously you can try kiting him, but that can get a little bit tricky, and especially in the heat of a battle where you're trying to macro and micro as well, you might end up losing Kerrigan. What we're going to be using is Kerrigan's Leaping Strike and Kerrigan's Psionic Shift to basically two-shot the Propagator. Now one thing to note is you will require a total of 13 points into the Primary Ability Improvement Mastery to reach the required damage output from Kerrigan to be able to kill this Propagator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to execute the move so you can see what it looks like, and then I will do a slow motion and I will talk about little tips and tricks that you can use to make this a pretty much surefire way of killing a Propagator. So here goes nothing.
Make it quick.
So there we go. We have killed the Propagator using Kerrigan's double ability over here. So to understand why this works, let's have a look at what a Propagator's attack actually looks like. So I'm going to zoom in. We send this drone over here to aggro this Propagator. Now let's have a look at it one more time in slow motion. Notice when the Propagator reaches its target and is ready to attack, it stops and tilts its head back. This is actually part of the weapon, and it's called a Backswing. During this phase, the weapon doesn't actually deal any damage to its target, and we're going to take advantage of this to kill the Propagator. Once the backswing has completed, in this case for a Propagator it is 0.5 seconds, the Propagator now attacks its target, deals its damage, and kills its target, and converts it to a Propagator. So the general idea is this. If you are able to kill a Propagator before it completes its backswing, it will not propagate the attacking unit. So in this case with Kerrigan, I use the Leap ability to deal initial damage to the Propagator. I obviously come within range of the Propagator's attack, and so it'll initiate its backswing. But because I use the Psionic Shift ability to deal fatal damage to the Propagator before it completes that backswing, I'm able to kill the Propagator without losing Kerrigan. Just a few more tips to reduce the chance that you lose Kerrigan to a Propagator. The first one is to target Leap from the maximum distance possible, and even potentially outside its maximum distance. This will cause Kerrigan to walk towards a Propagator with Leap queued up, and this will allow you a little bit of time to queue in your next ability. The second tip is to be aware of the range of Psionic Shift. If you target an area that is outside the range, Kerrigan will start walking towards that before she uses her ability. This will obviously mean that she can get targeted by the Propagator. I've shown here roughly what that range is when Kerrigan arrives at the Propagator. And one last tip is to make sure that your Psionic Shift moves in roughly the same direction as your Leap ability. This will ensure that Kerrigan actually hits the Propagator with the Psionic Shift. If she misses, you will end up losing Kerrigan to the Propagator.